I had an absolute blast thrift shopping, and the emotional roller coaster of was something to experience. Thrifting is awesome, and it's one of my favorite things to do. It's pretty hard to beat the excitement of shopping around looking for hidden little treasures. Now, I used to go buy stuff from Goodwill and resell them when I was in between jobs, and I found some pretty great items. But this day wasn't about reselling. It was about the hunt. This is Life of Steve. So I got to my first Goodwill, but before I could even get out of my truck, this little old lady pulled up behind me and flawlessly executed the best parking job I've ever seen. I mean, this was the stuff of legends. I want to say she didn't even try, but I also think she might have done it intentionally to keep herself from hitting other vehicles. Either way, we were off to a great start. As soon as I got inside, almost as if guided by fate, the first area of the store that I went to held the single greatest painting I had ever laid my eyes on. The Emo Cow. Dude, I graduated high school in 2007. This was the peak of emo music. And I'll forever be an emo kid at heart. Tell me MCR sucks, and we're gonna have a fucking fight. I didn't wear skinny jeans or eyeliner. I just liked the music. And I honestly had to keep it to myself. My friends were all metalheads and hip-hop heads, so I had to keep that shit on the down low. In public, I was all Slipknot, Immortal Technique, and Tech 9. But when I was at home, I was listening to My Chemical Romance. It was my guilty pleasure. Still is. I know this isn't what you think an emo kid looks like, but it is. We're like 35 now. Anyways, back to the Emo Cow. I was immediately flooded with Emo Cow band names. My Chemical Romance, of course. Blink 180 Moo, The Moosed, Panic at the Discow, Panic at the Dairy. Either way, Death Cab for Cowdy, Jimmy Eat Burger, Cow City, Bullet for My Bovine. I need you guys to blow these up in the comments. I know there's more. But this was a no-brainer. That beauty was coming home with me. I also found this tote full of toys for $8. My son would have a field day going through it, and we could always use more totes at the house. So I grabbed a cart, the toys, and Gerard Milky Way, and checked out. The last time I went to Goodwill, the only thing I got was COVID, so I'd say this was a pretty good start. I headed off to my second Goodwill store. Once inside, I immediately noticed several Canon cameras inside the display case. They were all older digital cameras, but come on, they're Canon. I asked the guy to hold them for me while I did my rounds. I did some quick research on some of the cameras and found most of them to be worth a pretty penny, even used. I know I said I wasn't going to buy anything to resell, but old habits die hard. My brain was screaming, buy them all! Sell one and it'll pay for all of them. So I did. $70 altogether. Which really isn't bad, but it's more than I was comfortable spending. But the intention was to flip them anyways, so fuck it. On to the third store. I perused around this Goodwill slowly and patiently, but didn't really find anything worth taking home. Except maybe this giant emo cow painting? But honestly, the hair flip wasn't emo enough for my taste. So I let him stay in the bin, and I went on my way. But I did see this Hulk Hogan game. I feel like the Hulkster's been haunting me since the casino video. I made my way to the fourth and final store. Now this one's in a more sketchy part of town. Hence the poor lighting and the sirens in the background. I took to the aisles, cruising around looking for anything that caught my eye. Nothing was really jumping out at me, and I was about to leave. That's when I saw these lower backtracks things, still in the packaging. And they were endorsed by none other than Lori from the hit show Shark Tank. I'm out. Just kidding. I bought them. They sell for $50 new, and they only cost me a couple bucks a piece. I'm a sucker for a good deal. Once I got home, I looked at the cameras more closely. They all appeared to be functional, and a lot of them had SD cards in them. Now, being the curious man that I am, I had to know what was on these SD cards. I plugged them into my computer, and card after card, I found that these cameras all belonged to the same family. There were hundreds of photos of them. There were happy pictures from holidays, and cute pictures of an elderly couple together. But the more pictures I looked through, the stranger things got. There were pictures of the elderly couple battered and bruised terribly on their legs, shoulders, and faces. It honestly caught me off guard at first. There was something eerie about seeing this family happy and together during the holidays, and then seeing them bruised and beaten down like this. But I couldn't look away. I had to assume that the bruising and the injuries were the result of a car accident that the older man and woman had been involved in. But there were no pictures of a damaged car or anything like that. The pictures were kind of hard to look at. Pictures of them in the hospital, pictures of them resting, and then pictures of them smiling again. Still bruised, but looking happy. The timestamps on the photos showed that they spanned about 15 years, up until about 2018. Looking at these photos was like a roller coaster ride, starting with joyful family moments, followed by darkness, pain, and struggle, and then the relief of healing, with a brave, bright, triumphant smile once again. I didn't know or recognize the family, the people, but the story played out in those photos before me captivated me, inspired me. This was the video, not Goodwill. These people. The story of the fragility and the strength of being a human played out through a series of photographs. A wave of curiosity and hope washed over me. What if? What if I could find these people and return their photographs to them? Surely whoever gave these to Goodwill forgot to check for the SD cards. They have to be missing these pictures. While some of these photos are from a rough or bad time, there are a lot of great family photos on here. These are people's memories. These are people's lives. These are people's loved ones. These are important. If I had lost precious photos of family or friends, I would definitely hope that somebody would find them and return them to me. These cameras were old. These photos were old. And they've been made more valuable by the passing of time. But I didn't know these people. And how could I find them? I turned to Facebook and joined several groups focused on the local community. I posted a couple of the clear and happy photos and asked for the public's assistance in getting into contact with the people in the pictures. I was excited at the prospect of returning these priceless photos to the family, eagerly awaiting that message or comment that would put me in contact with them. But it never happened. Nobody knew them, and if somebody did know them, they didn't contact me. I got a couple likes, but no real leads. And this lady tried to tell everybody I was a scammer. Thanks, religious lady. What a nice person you are. She deleted her comment right after I replied. God bless. And sadly, that was the last bit of interaction my posts got. I had nothing left to go on. No leads, no resources, no way to find them. No fairy tale ending here, just the old familiar sting of life being life. But I still have the memory cards tucked away in a safe place. Just in case. Maybe one day I'm going for a walk or out at dinner and I recognize someone. But is that even the right thing to do? Is it a kind and considerate gesture? Or is it fucking weird? I don't know. I try my best to do the right thing when I can, but I also understand. I'm a big, dumb, bearded man with an awkward disposition. And even if I did see them in public and recognize them, would I be able to approach them? Probably not. I am very aware of how scary or weird it would be to be approached in public by me and be told that I'm in possession of photos of you and your family. That's crazy. I know that. So, I guess I'll just burn them. My expectations of a fairy tale happy ending were my fault. I often romanticize these grand gestures inside my head, almost like my life is being played out like some kind of dramatic movie. But life isn't always romantic. It's not always beautiful, and it's not always dramatic. Most of the time, life is just life. Shit happens, things get lost, and time keeps on moving. Oh well. I tried. I may not have found the family, but I did get this amazing emo cow painting, some toys for my son, some awesome cameras, and these pieces of junk that I'll never actually use or sell. I had an absolute blast thrift shopping, and the emotional roller coaster of those photographs was something to experience. So I can't complain. Let me know in the comments what awesome, strange, or cool things you found thrift shopping. I'd love to know. Until next time, thanks for watching. Life of Steve.